Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from mywieneryourmouth.com here as well.
So, before we were so rudely interrupted, which was exactly a week ago today, there was a knock on the door here of the shop, and a gentleman was out there. It has been raining for days and days. It's very moist out there. And I could tell from hearing him knock a couple times that whoever it was not going to go away. And it turns out it's the guy that owns the house that's kind of behind the shop here. And he only recently bought it. The house next to that is his parents' house.
Huh.
And he's an only child, an adult with a baby, first grandkid. And he's now moved back from living on the coast in Wilmington and having a business in Raleigh.
Huh.
And he said he had, as a kid, he used to come over to this shop and hang out with the guys from across the street. And he said he had the pleasure of being here one day when Dave, the kid across the street, drove a fastener through his hand with a pneumatic nailer, and he thought after he just pulled it out with his bare hands that guy is cool. So anyway, I just had a quick conversation there. We're going to continue on with the last of our Smoker's Pride.
Oh, wait, are we doing that or are we doing the other one?
No, we're going to do the Smoker's Pride.
Okay.
Because this will be 3 weeks then of Smoker's Pride.
I see what's happening. I thought the other one was a cherry. Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So, I have another one for next week that relates to this one. So, this is the last...
The things we do for you guys.
You know what?
Although we've been okay.
We don't have any complaints about those last two.
All right, so we'll see.
So, this is Smoker's Pride Vanilla Cavendish.
It's not a chocolate, so we might be in luck.
Again, this is one that we left open for a time, and it's still not dried out by any means. What are we going to smoke?
But neither was the cherry, and we like the cherry.
You know what? I need to clean out a pipe here. You want
to
load that up while we do
this? That's not bad.
So, the next topic of discussion probably should have happened last week.
Yeah.
And that is the hurricane that came passing through here. By the time it came here, it was no longer a hurricane, but it did its damage much closer to the coastline. And here we just had several days of almost nonstop rain. But it wasn't torrential downpour, which really surprised me.
If I was a person that didn't have the news, I would have thought, oh, it's raining.
Right.
I mean, there was an afternoon with some heavy wind, but that was about it. Where we are. Now, further south, they got a lot of rain. Some of my coworkers who live about 45 minutes south of me said they got 15 inches, at least 15 inches at their house.
What did we get?
They were saying like 6.
Yeah.
Although I went past the dam, Oak Hollow, it was crazy this morning. I guess they evacuated all of the homes across the street, across 68 from that, at about 1 a.m.
What is the deal?
I don't know. The deal is, you need a ladder, bro.
This is just worthless. This has got some kind of weird child-proof thing going on, too. Look at that.
I think the question is, what happens to all of the Bics that we buy for the shop?
I don't know.
Because I know that we buy them.
Let's see if they're down here. Would you say
on my way in to work this morning? I work 30 minutes south of where we live, and there was on the other side of the road, it was totally flooded. They had it blocked off because there was a SUV in it with water up to the window. So there was standing water. It was a pretty significant deal, but it was few and far between for us.
And we now live, Jandy and my adult daughter and her husband and their kids, we now live in a town south of High Point, not far from the town of Thomasville. And we live on the high end of the neighborhood. There are, 6 or 7 lakes in the neighborhood. All of them are looking pretty high, but none of them have gone
flooded
over the banks at all.
Wow.
My daughter did a little bit of a freak out because she saw a news report that somebody in Thomasville went underwater in their car on a road that runs right next to a creek, right next to the railroad tracks. Had to be like the lowest point in the entire county, but because it's in the town right near us, oh my gosh, it's flooding out. It didn't flood where we are.
No. So yeah, we were fortunate. The path that the hurricane took went as it came inland. We were supposed to be right in the smack dab middle of it. That's what they were predicting. It was going to come right on top of us, and instead it jogged to the south of Greensboro, went completely around, almost as if we were holding on to it with a string, and it was just following the path around us. Because then it went west of us and then jogged back up north, and so missed us completely, with the exception of some high winds, but again, like 35-mile-an-hour winds, which is not that out of the ordinary for a heavy storm.
No.
And is not the worst rain that we've had this summer.
I flew home on Friday as the storm was hitting, and I came into town at right around 5 p.m. and no problem until the descent, at which point things got a little exciting. But still, no big deal. I mean, I've had just as bad of an experience on days that were nice. So
now, hear what we're saying. It was a big deal for a lot of people in the state, in South Carolina as well. There are a lot of people affected. Just saying that for where we are, we were one of the lucky ones that didn't get hit with it.
It's nice that we had folks that were concerned. I got a lot of messages through various social media about that, and every one of them, it was basically, no, we're good. We're good. So, anyway, I think that's the last of the weather report.
So I want to talk about something.
Except for the heat in the shop, which we also said we'd stop talking about. It's 90 degrees in here.
Stop talking about it. It's only a problem if you acknowledge it. It's hot. Speaking of heat, I want to bring up a topic from a couple of weeks ago that
we took some heat about.
Lots of people did. It's fine. I want to give you guys some tools. If you are somebody who is a viewer of videos and has any sort of aspiration to start posting videos yourself, I want to help you do that. And so a couple weeks ago I talked about how really the rig that we use is quite simple for recording videos. We do record on a camera that gets edited on a computer, but many times we record straight to phone. That's how you do
100%
all of your recording.
100%.
And that's one of the easiest ways to do it now. Since cameras on phones have become so good, it's difficult to tell the difference oftentimes. Sometimes your camera phone is even more high def than what you would get from a camcorder.
This camcorder that we're using here is at least 10 years old.
Right.
So my phone is better quality than this thing.
Absolutely. We've talked about that before, that sometimes we get hit on comments about the quality of the video. But it does better audio than our phones do at this distance. We need something with a wide angle lens, if you know what I'm saying. So I bought something a couple weeks ago that I really like, and I think I just wanted to share with you. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a Amazon shopping list of maybe a couple of different packages of things that if you're interested in starting into YouTube and you don't know where to start, these things will help. These are tools that will help. And so I bought for myself so that I can do some non-Marco Men's Breakfast Club videos, this tripod. And one of the reasons I bought this particular tripod is because it came with a super robust spring clip for my phone. I've got the iPhone S Plus, and shockingly, doesn't matter. Because none of them are smaller or bigger than this. 7, maybe. It has a headphone jack. Even with my case on, the clip is wide enough to hold on to it. And so you can set this up as a tripod, any direction you want. This just screws onto the base. You could use it with any other camcorder camera that has
it's got a quarter 20 thread on it.
Yep. It has this connection here as well. Now, why would you want to connect it
you're reading my mind.
This way? It's because these legs are totally twistable. And so a lot like the Gorilla Pods, if you've seen those, you can wrap it around something.
You can hang it over a fence or...
Wrap it onto a tree limb. Do all sorts of fancy stuff with it. Then, surprisingly, this also came with a Bluetooth button that's a shutter button. So one clip, once you connect it to this, you click it once and it will take a picture, or click it and it'll start the video and stop the video, so you can use it as a remote shutter. I've been really happy with this. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons with my son, and the second game we played, he was being so funny that I started recording it. But I didn't have anything good to record it on. I was using my laptop, and it was kind of awkward, and so I wanted something to be able to make those recordings easier. And so that's actually why I picked this up. But you know, if you are somebody who wants to just have something to talk into while you smoke your pipe, record directly into the iTunes or the YouTube app from whatever phone you're on. That's a great tool.
See, I record onto the photo app.
Also fine, and upload from there.
Once you have that file, you can upload directly from that, or in the case of Apple, you can open it in iMovie and you can trim it. If you need to crop off the ends of it, or for something that you need to get rid of, you can. But I don't really edit.
Yeah, so the other things I was going to put in the bundle that'll be linked below is I've recently discovered a really neat ring light that's designed specifically for phones that you can plug in and actually attach.
I just bought one. I wonder if you bought the same one.
I actually didn't buy it. I've not decided to buy it yet because I'm like, I don't need to. I'm not doing makeup tutorials, but I know that it'd be useful. So I mean, it clips on.
Yeah, it can clip directly over the camera lens, which then would ensure that the light is perfectly circular and you got a circular thing on your glasses or your eyeballs.
Yeah, if you've ever seen those, a lot of times makeup tutorials or the up close just your face videos, you can see a ring light in the person's eyes. It's an interesting effect.
Yeah, but I'm and it's adjustable for warm or cool color temperature. More times than not, when I need a light, it's just I need some fill light. I'm in a hotel room, and if I turn the light that's on the desk right in front of me, it's overwhelming. But if it's off, then I'm sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
So I bought that, and it's rechargeable, and looks like a pretty interesting little device. And I think I paid $10 for it on Amazon.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'd recommend is, and there are two ways you could go with this, is a microphone. You know, if this is something you really want to dive into, all of that to say, just hold the camera, hold the phone, you're fine.
Yeah.
But if you want to take it to the next level, there are two options for microphones that'll really help, especially if you're outside, if you're doing something where you're recording outside and it's windy. Like I've got a buddy who is recording videos on his tractor. He has a small farm, and he has a tractor cam where he'll ride around and shoot videos while in the tractor, but you can't hear him if he's not wearing some sort of microphone.
Okay.
So your two options there that I'd recommend. Actually, the first option, use the headphones that came with your phone.
Yeah.
Right? That's great. It's got a microphone. It's excellent. You can just tuck it in your shirt, use it as a lavalier mic. If you don't like that, you
don't have to have the earpiece in your ear.
Right, for the microphone to work.
Right.
If you want to, you can always buy a lavalier mic. Those are great options. Or they also make really good shotgun mics, which are microphones that attach to the camera. It would also sit on your phone, but looks directly at you.
So have you used one of those with a phone?
I've not with the phone, but I know that Rode makes them.
So I have a lav mic that I've never used. And I know that it would improve the quality of my videos, especially the ones that I've shot here recently on my back porch. I'm getting a lot of road noise out behind, and I'm probably going to break that thing out. But I bought it specifically for vlogging. But just to your point, it's just one more thing to have, and to have out, and to have to get plugged in. Are the batteries working on it? And if your batteries go on you while you're in the middle of recording, nothing on your phone will tell you that the mic battery died. So you got to have a couple extra batteries and test them before you go. So all those things have kept me from wanting to get crazy passionate about it, but I have one.
So one way that a lot of people will use this too, if your interest is more in the vlogging style, is this can become the handle grip for your camera, and you can hold it as you walk around for your phone.
So selfie stick style.
Selfie stick
not way
style.
out there.
But, you can do it like that, so it's really
Throw that to
easy.
the side. There you go.
You can bend it so it's easy to hold. But then, if you're out and about, let's say you're walking through the park, you do this, and you can still have the advantage of the tripod that you can put down on the ground, or you can wrap around a tree or something. But I bring this up because it came up a couple of weeks ago, and we've talked about it years and years in the past, that we like for you to be a part of the community, and we love the comments, but it's really great when people start getting creative and start just start a channel. It's really great practice for public speaking or rambling in many of our cases. It's a good discipline to have. I heard Seth Godin's marketing genius say recently that you should practice being good, or you should practice being bad until you're good. He said, Wayne Gretzky at 5 years old is a better hockey player than me, but Wayne Gretzky at 3 years old was not a better hockey player than me. But he was a bad hockey player until he became the greatest of all time. So, if you have an interest, don't be afraid. Jump in. For less than $100, easy, probably less than $50, you can have a really nice setup that's going to give you professional quality video that just relies on your phone.
The only other thing that I would say, there are some guys that kind of specialize in rambling. Most of us aren't good at that. At the same time, I'm not a big fan of people that script everything they're going to say. And again, that's just me. I know that some folks, if they don't do that, they're totally uncomfortable. Absolutely give yourself some notes. Make yourself a bullet list to keep yourself on topic. And there's no pressure. I mean, your videos don't have to be 3 minutes long. They don't have to be 5 minutes long. If they're too long, no one's going to watch them.
I'll Mark Women's Breakfast.
I think our average view time is like 8 minutes.
Of a 30-minute video, normally.
We get that. That's, again, why we tend to leave little jumps in the description down below. If you haven't discovered that, that's worth looking at, because you can jump to the next topic.
And if you're unsure what to talk about, just make video responses. Start there. Make a video response to this video and say, hey, you're wrong. The lavalier mics are really, really great. You should be using it, Scott. Or whatever the case is. Or when we say that this vanilla tobacco is actually not all that terrible, smokers probably did a pretty good job.
I tell you, of the three, I still would say the dark Cavendish is my favorite. And I can't believe I'm about to say this. The cherry is number 2. I've never cared for cherry tobacco.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The vanilla, it's just kind of, It's not bad, but it's just,
Yeah, my expectation for this was really low.
Yeah.
Really low. So, and it had gone up. It probably is because it has gone up.
You're probably
since
right.
having the other two.
You're probably right.
I got some of that contrast principle at work.
Just a heads up. Next week, we're going to smoke another vanilla Cavendish that I'd say is probably in the same price range. Maybe the same tobacco. We'll know. But next week, we'll tell you whether that tobacco or this tobacco was the better vanilla Cavendish on a budget.
Throw down.
So, there you go. We'll leave it at that. I think we'll wrap this up today.
Yep.
Right? I'm with Boyd. Shoot a video response. Let's do that more with each other. It's kind of cool. You can get the whole conversation going in a circle.
Yeah.
You can now, it's been this way for a little while, you can post a link to your video in the comment below. So shoot your video. Go not to the link that's in the bar at the top, the address bar, but beneath your picture there's a little arrow. Click on the arrow for sharing.
Right.
And find the short link that you can share. Put that in your comment below, and we will watch it. We'll leave a comment on your video.
And one last thing, we're going to be in Richmond this Friday for the pipe show. We will certainly be filming a video or two from the Sutliff Pipe Tour, Tobacco Tour, and the just the show. So hopefully we'll see you there. If you're going to be in the area, keep an eye out for us and let us know to keep an eye out for you.
Make it a great week, and hope to see you on Friday.
Thanks. Bye.